Hey everybody, Karthik Money. I'm over at Adi Schools. I wanted to give you a quick video because I am not one that's ever worked from home. I've literally never worked from my house. I've always gotten up, got dressed, and went into an office, and now I find myself working from home every day. And I wrote down a few things that I have used to kind of guide how I work from home, and I'm hoping this might help you. And I'd love to know in the comment section, if you've worked from home before, what are some tips? Because I'm sure this list is not exhaustive. This is just something that I've kind of observed over the last few weeks or couple weeks. Feels like several years, but I wanted to let you know a few things that I wrote down that I think have helped me just deal with working from home and kind of trying to keep a sense of productivity. First, I wrote down I have a defined start time. I wake up, brush my teeth, get out of bed, well, backwards. I get out of bed, brush my teeth, take a shower, take the dog out, and get ready for my day just as though I was going to an actual office. Now, of course, I am going to an office. I just go around the corner and I come here. But anyway, I try to make sure I'm at my desk working at a specific time every day. The second thing I wrote down is I take scheduled breaks. So I take a lunch at a certain time, I take a break at a certain time. I try to stay in as much of a routine as humanly possible. So that's the second thing. So first thing, of course, I have a defined start time. Second thing, I take scheduled breaks. So my lunch is at a certain time. Now, I can only cook like 3 or 4 things, but I am making scrambled eggs. I'm making spaghetti. I am heating up various leftovers from whatever I have. But anyway, yes, but I make my meals be at a certain time. And of course, I get my coffee, not from Pete's or Starbucks anymore, but I go to a wonderful coffee shop called Keurig, which is just behind the camera here. Fine. The third thing I wrote down is overcommunicate. I still have several members of my team. We're all just spread out. We're working from home, but I overcommunicate with my team. So I call them more often probably than they'd like, but I make it a point to either on instant messenger or on a phone call or on text. I'm making sure that I'm communicating with my team. Because you're not physically in the same office, it's probably important to over-communicate because you have a physical boundary between you and the rest of your team. So for those of you in leadership positions, I would highly encourage you to over-communicate with your team. The fourth thing I wrote down is I wrote set expectations properly. That's not only for clients. In fact, I've had some clients of mine that, I've just had to kind of like do a paradigm shift as to, hey, here's where we are. Here's where I think we're likely to go in the short term. I think the long term is a little harder to chart out, but here's what I think is going to happen in the short term, and here's what I think we can deliver in that reduced period of time. So I set expectations with clients and your staff and team members properly. And the last thing I wrote down was dress appropriately. So I still have on, now I'm not wearing a suit every day. I should probably do that actually just to support my dry cleaner, but I'm definitely not in my pajamas all day. In fact, look, my fashion choices are questionable, but look, I have on proper slacks. Now, of course, I was on a Zoom call with someone and they said that I got dressed without a light bulb in my closet, but that was not the case. This was deliberate. But yeah, dress appropriately for work. So those are just 5 things that I wrote down. I'm half recording this video to share with you what I did, but the other half of me really wants to know what you're doing as you work from home like the rest of the world and trying to figure out how to navigate this new work environment and this new reality that we're all growing accustomed to. I'm hoping this won't be for too much longer. I am obviously, like the rest of you guys, doing our part to socially distance and make sure that we don't inadvertently spread the coronavirus to anyone. So anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys are up to and how you guys are managing working from home, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.